start dancing?
Yeah. It's a dance song.
It's a YouTube dance party.
Thank you all for being here today. Thank you to Alex and the Pressman for organizing this event. Thank you to Oxy TV for sponsoring this panel. I guess we should start with introductions. What is your name and what content do you make?
Ladies first.
We'll start with Sean.
My name is Hawkeye. I battle robots with bow and arrow. Nothing makes sense. No, but, I'm Sean, Sean X Long on YouTube. I do a lot of stuff with action figures, movies, little skits, and love to make people laugh. And I like to cosplay too. I had to cosplay at Cosplay Con, so I'm glad that a lot of us here are cosplay. Andre is a black nerd, that's what his cosplay is. But yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Andre, and I'm a black nerd. I do black nerd comedy on YouTube, just different rants, reviews, sketches, and interviews all about geek culture, nostalgia culture, and things like that. And I'm cosplaying. I'm actually Chris Pratt cosplaying.
I was wondering.
As Andre.
I was wondering.
I'm Spinelli. Don't call me Ashley, or I'll throw a candle on your face. But my real name is Jenny Lorenzo, and I host Geekgasm on the Aggressive Comics channel. And I rant and rave about all things geek, particularly TV and films.
My name's Leo Camacho, aka That Prince Eric Guy from YouTube. I do a lot of Disney-centric YouTubing and a lot of cosplay generally across the web. So yeah.
I'm Swoozie. All for applause. JK, but thank you. I talk about my life, I talk about relationships, I talk about past places that I've worked, and I talk about cheating in high school, pretty much all things that involve lifestyle things. I talk about it on my YouTube.
Awesome. Hi guys, I'm Trisha Hirschberger. I was a full-time host on SourceFed and helped launch SourceFed Nerd for 3 years. I have my channel youtube.com/nerdychick5 where I do gadget reviews and video game stuff and tabletop gaming stuff and vlogs. And I currently host the show Super Fan Built on All Me and a show called Take My Money on SBS.
Awesome.
Who are you?
I'm Tay Zonday. I sing, I act, I do voice work, and a lot of places.
Jack and Triumph did that show. Adult Swim just got sexy with me.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So just we're going to get to the details of, how money is made and how you kind of build a YouTube business, but just kind of as an icebreaker question, what is the most meaningful interaction you've had with a fan on social media? Anyone's
I've had a really great interaction with fans. I've had, oh my gosh, do you want it to start a little sad? Because it can be a sad story, anyway. But just a little thing, this shows you the impact of what us YouTubers can do to people. Like, I had a parent that told me, like, her kid who was dying of cancer used to love watching my videos up until his death. And he always would play like, whoa, kids, and it was just like, oh my god, I teared up reading that, and I was just very honored to hear that I touched that kid's life in that way up until his death. So yeah, it's really crazy that people really look to a lot of us as for entertainment and just a great way to escape whatever troubles they have. So I felt really honored. I gotta stop telling you.
Social media is a tough one. I mean, I have a lot of interesting ones face to face. I've noticed my male subscribers are a little bit more aggressive and a little more frantic than the female ones. Like, the females have tact. The males, not so much. I would say there were these girls that I was following, that was a group of them. I followed one on Twitter, and then the other one's like, but this person showed me your videos, so then I followed her. But that person loves you more, and they watch you like marathons. And when I followed the last person, they were actually recording her on Vine, and she literally ripping her clothes, screaming, Swoozie! I thought that was pretty amazing. He followed me! Ripping her clothes, I was like, wow. Wow. So yeah, powerful.
That's hilarious. I like to get video responses. I do a series called The Naked Truth. It's a vlog series, and there are people who vlog back each week. We call them the Naked Army. It sounds very risque, and it's not. It's very family friendly, actually. Lots of family friendly nudity. But no, and the people who are in the Naked Army, I have to say I have come to know, and when I see them out at conventions, I can see them across the room and know them by name and give hugs, and now I have friends in Costa Rica and in Scotland, and they're, Naked Army everywhere, and it's really cool to make the world feel like a lot smaller of a place than it is.
And then kind of playing off of that, which social networks work best for activating your community, and why?
Well, I mean, probably YouTube at the end of the day, just because that's where your primary focus lies, and that's where you can make a message mean the most, right? It's almost like a dialogue with a person. You're looking at the camera, but in reality, it's almost like you're connecting with each individual watching that, and you kind of sense that in the responses, in the comments, or when they just presence on Facebook, whatever. It just feels like you're just interacting with a bunch of individuals as opposed to just a room of faces, right?
And you don't really know who's watching and stuff too. It's really crazy. Like, if you watch my channel, I talk a lot about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm just a huge fan, particularly the newer series. And I went to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con last year, and I went to their panel. And as I walked out, all the storyboard artists, the animators, and even some of the people who voice cast were all randomly go, every Monday when we come into office, we will load up your video and watch your show. And it really drove me insane. And then recently, so at the end of my videos, I'll just say, I'm Audi 5000. They actually had one of the characters in the cartoon show say that in the show.
That's a win.
For me, it's more Facebook actually than YouTube, strangely. I feel people try to connect with me more on Facebook, which kind of ties into the previous question. I get a lot of folks writing me about their problems, and it's interesting because I'm just this weird chick that talks and gets angry about things that I don't like in a certain, TV show or what went wrong. And then I get a lot of folks just venting to me, and I've sort of become like the hairdresser who listens to people's problems.
You do hair?
But I actually enjoy that. I feel like I connect with people more that way, and that all happens on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I would say in person though, it's because I got busy a lot, and so people went out and they just tell you, it's they feel like they already have this established connection with you because they watch you on Instagram and YouTube. And then they just come and unload an emotional wheelbarrow of things, and it's wow. And, I've had a girl cry to me because I promote a lot of positivity. At the end of the day, I dress up like Disney characters. I mean, you gotta take yourself with a grain of salt, and a lot of positivity comes to that. When someone opens up and says that they were able to do it, and you were able to go out and make friends because of something that you did, it's a second thought. It really opens your eyes to it.
I was just going to say I throw Twitch in the hat too. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was going to say Snapchat. You guys on Snapchat?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one that I find that's an emerging powerhouse because it's almost instant. When I'm streaming.
That's why, that's
Snapchat, I'm on Twitch, boom, and double the amount of viewers hit. So for me, it's YouTube, Instagram I'm finding, and Snapchat is a nice little triangle group for me.
Yeah, I would say Twitch because you're live. You're chatting with people right then and there, and if you're Twitch streaming for 3 hours, you could have feasibly just had a 3-hour conversation with a group of people, and you certainly get to know them better that way, and hopefully they get to know you better then too.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to social media. It's funny, with YouTube, you can still message people, you can do that still. And, but it's funny, people forget about that, and I forget about that, so it's oh, why didn't you message me? It's oh, because you get so many comments, and I try to respond to comments and Facebook messages, and Twitter ad replies, and all that stuff. And it's funny, right before this panel, I had somebody that's you respond to comments and you feel so bad, and it's you want to, it's but usually it'd be a job in itself to reply to comments and everything. And it's well, I wouldn't be making videos if I just responded all the time. But you try to balance the time of answering questions and replies. But yeah, it's you're your own PR person. You're your own you wear so many hats, and it's and you don't want a fake person to answer. It's oh, this is Sean's representative answering your question. That would be terrible. So at least it's actually coming from me. So yeah.
Thank you, Amy, for your initiative.
So that's a perfect segue to the next question. This is kind of related. They're kind of blend. But what tools and technology? How do you use tools and technology to keep up with all your social networks? Is there kind of a central place, a central to try and manage it? Because like you're saying, you got Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. How do you manage it all?
I finally got an iPhone. That helped me. Yeah, I love Android. Yeah, man. Gosh, man. The apps.
Let me log into Snapchat now that we're on the topic.
I find a lot of times with the social networks being native into the social networks, like for example, if you're on Facebook, I find that sometimes uploading directly to Facebook an image or a video as opposed to using some other platform to send it through, because a lot of times the algorithms in those social networks, they kind of reward the people who use the actual player or the apps or whatever, as opposed to using a third party. And particularly the more that Facebook is trying to get into video, it's very interesting to see what kind of YouTube stuff you start to put up there. It used to get like tons of likes, and then you get like 2. Because Facebook is like, use our player, use our video.
Yeah.
It's so weird. The purpose of making it difficult.
Yeah, they don't like that.
And boosting.
Boosting.
Those boosts.
So basically what they're talking about is if you get 200,000 followers on Facebook and you post something, Facebook intentionally does not send it out to all 200,000. They want you to pay them so they can look good to their stockholders. So that's what they're talking about.
They will purposely look back at YouTube posts because they want to encourage you using their own video.
Right, but if you upload the video directly to Facebook, then that makes Facebook look better, and so they're more likely to share that.
It has more of what they call organic reach.
Yeah.
When you post something on the platform, the promotion it gets without paying for the digital.
Yeah, you just have to.
I'm Snapchat, I'm okay.
Good. I encourage you to do it too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out Snapchat.
Yeah, I'm not on Snapchat.
I asked I'm an old man when it comes to Snapchat myself. A lot of us have stories about how YouTube success emerged from a tough employment situation or a non-employment situation. Does anyone want to share that aha moment where YouTube success pulled them out of a tough spot?
Oh man, I have a great one. You guys want to hear this? This is like, I'm not making this up. I wish it was. And when this happened, I'm like, this is going to be a great story when they hand me down. So back in 2008, when I first started doing this, it was just a hobby. I was like, oh, like, I want to give my opinion, and YouTube is cool. Like, at first I treated it like, oh, I can watch music videos and anything like as much as I want. It's like MTV, like how it should have been. But back in the day, I used to work customer service, and I actually worked at this. I'm gonna totally say where I worked. I worked at Blue Shield. I was a claims adjuster. Worst job ever. Like people would say, oh, I need your claim on this, surgery. And I just want to be like, yes, 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 but no, you're not allowed to do that. So I wasn't like meeting the standards of my job. And during this was Halloween 2008. What was the most popular movie that year? The Dark Knight. And what did I want to dress up as on Halloween? Heath Ledger's Joker. And I was like totally all out. This was before it was really being con, so I like treated Halloween like my con experience. And I was at work, dressed up as the Joker, and my birthday is November 3rd, so that was going to be a Monday, and I was going to take Monday off of work. My coworkers got me pizza and everything, and then my supervisor brings me in and it's like, hey, your stats aren't where we used to be, we gave you a try, but we have to let you go. And I'm like, I wanted to say, like, why so serious? But I'm literally dressed up in Joker. I had prosthetic scars and makeup, and I'm like, this feels like I'm in a movie or something, like one of those bad movies where like the guy gets like fired from his job in the beginning of the movie, and like I'll meet the love of my life, and like things will work out. Yeah. But yeah, so I was like, crap, what am I gonna do? And I'm like so depressed. And then that was the month where I made my first $1,000 on YouTube. And I was like, oh my god, I can actually pay my rent with this money. So, and then I just started doing it full time, and it was like a blessing in disguise. And now I'm where I'm at today, talking on the YouTube channel with Chuck Blueberry. So it's a dream come true, guys.
Fired the Joker!
I blew up that building that next day. So.
Let me show you a trick with this pencil. You sure you want to find that guy?
Gotta send a message.
It's different.
Oh, I know, exactly. I love some scars, they're pretty deep ones, but it's okay. It all worked out in place.
For me, it's a tad different because I will be honest, I don't make. It's strange because I make a living off of YouTube, but I don't. My channel has not gotten me a living, but all of my supplies have been donated. I do a lot of crowdfunding, So that's what I know more about as far as like, what can you do if you're not making a living off of your channel? You can still garner donations and whatnot. But my work on my own YouTube channel got me a job at BuzzFeed Video, which is YouTube, so it's bizarre. Like my whole life revolves around YouTube. So sometimes the work you put out gets you noticed and takes you places, but you have to give yourself that chance. Pave your own path, kind of deal.
I would say for me, it's really interesting because, like you, my own channel isn't really where I'm most known for, it's the same on these other channels. But there was a moment when, and I mentioned this in the last panel, when I got this opportunity to pitch Disney for science education, science for kids. And it went really well. We did it for Big Hero 6, and it just kept growing and growing because they were like, oh, you're a Disney YouTuber. Yeah, how can we utilize this? So then they had me host the videos. And then, you know, next thing you know, I'm walking into Tomorrowland and seeing myself playing on a screen, on repeat, in Disneyland. I'm like, whoa, this thing is way bigger than me now. Like, it's become something else. I'm the Disney education guy now. And I'm looking at myself, and then, you know, like I get a tweet or a text from my friend, like, I haven't come to Disneyland in 14 years, and the first thing to see is your stupid face. And it's just like,
It's a good looking face, man.
yeah.
Even with all the dirt on it, it's cool.
I mean, I know a lot of you guys are very curious about how the money works, and I think that's part of the stuff that Tay wants to like get into the meat and potatoes about. For me, that's what it was about. If I could stop my 9-to-5 job and just live off of YouTube, and I think the aha moment for me was not my first viral video, but my second one went like bananas nuts. And that paycheck I got 5 figures for that month, and it was what I made in the year previously in 1 month off of one YouTube video, and that was like, holy crap, like this thing is legit. I better just cash in all my chips before they pull the rug out from underneath me. But yeah, it was after the second viral video, Texturally Active, that one got me 5 figures just like that in 2 days. It took me 365 days to make before that was my moment.
Oh, my turn. Well, I have a kind of a different story into YouTube. I like to say that I tripped and fell into YouTube. I got my degree in classical theater, so I was trained and thought I was moving out here to do Greek theater and Shakespeare, and like I say, I tripped and fell into YouTube, and it was really good for me because I was auditioning for a lot of different things that weren't letting me be me, and in Hollywood, traditionally, they really like girls to know a lot about fashion and makeup, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that, it's just not who I am. So I would go to auditions and kind of flub it up, like I'd do okay on my read, and then I'd flub it up in the interview portion because I don't know a lot about that stuff. And when I started auditioning for digital content, for YouTube content, they were like, oh no, tell us more about the video games you're playing. Oh no, tell us more about this fantasy literature book that you're reading that we don't really know about. And I was like, oh. And it just gave me a platform to be myself and to be able to make a career out of the things that I'm passionate about. How cool is that? It's awesome.
You're a thespian, I like that.
No, it's so true, because I have the same thing. Like, I'm always on to talk about, let's talk about cartoons and old wacky sitcoms. And then go in the audition room, it's like, ring for gangster number 2.
I want to see that.
What it is, my man?
Are you just being dope?
Yeah. Actually, dope as Black Easter. So,
oh, I know.
So yeah, being able to be yourself. And what's cool about that is, you know, because especially what I've dealt with a lot of times, people are like, oh, there's not people like you out there. And I love when I hear messages from people who are like, hey, I'm a black nerd, I'm a black geek too, and I thought I was by myself, or I've never seen that before, or I've never seen that stuff. It's like, it's cool because we get to bring different perspectives that sometimes mainstream media won't display.
Kevin Hart shouted him out in an interview that he wasn't
So cool.
That's when you know.
So the topic of crowdfunding is very kind of like, what do you do if your YouTube channel isn't the primary source of income? But you can also segue from that into what is the best way to do a call to action if you're doing, say, one way that YouTube is often garnering income is branding, so you product placements in the videos. Oftentimes that goes with a call to action like visit the site for this movie, visit the site for this toy. So if you can kind of combine those questions, what is the best way to do a call to action in your content to get the people watching your content to either contribute to you or to click a link for a sponsor?
Oh man, I deal with that like constantly. Like I feel like I'm a big sell all the time because I deal with toys. And yeah, like I try to work with companies. I would buy their stuff anyway because I review action figures for a living, so I'm really happy to work with Sideshow, and I worked with like Flaming Toys with the new Turtles. They sent me like the stuff early when the show first began, and I was like really happy. It's like, oh, they sent me that giant playset. It was so cool. And yeah, it's like a fine line because if it's what you're known for, like reviews, it's like okay, they understand. Like you gotta get sensitive. You can't buy all the stuff because I mean it's great for taxes at the end of the year, but yeah, you do need some sort of sponsorship when you're doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I try to do it organically, do stuff I know I would get myself, the things I like, because I get like people like those candy loot crate things. It's like, oh, you want to review? I don't do candy, man. It's like maybe if you were a cookie or brownie loot crate, but it's like, it's like. So I try to really stay away from things I wouldn't normally get. So that way, if I'm telling them, oh, promote this, or like even like this thing recently, the Payday 2 coming out on next gen, it's like, oh, I love the Payday game, so I don't mind promoting that and getting paid for that. It's great. I'm getting paid for doing talking about something I would love to talk about anyway. So I try to keep it very organic. Like I try to stay away from things. It's like if I was like promoting tampons or something. So yeah, I wouldn't do anything like that.
I always struggle.
Tampons are very useful though. It's very.
There should be a box actually that comes with one.
I know, right? It would be the best. Like a ding. Oh, it's gonna be your new venture.
That's a commercial for that one.
Startup wheels are rolling.
Well, I think the way to get that interaction though is A, like you said, be genuine and talk about things that you actually care about, and we hope people that are following you would care about. But number two is incentivize them in some way. Don't just expect people to buy whatever you're pitching. Give them a reason. And one way to do that, like for example, I'm part of this Loot Crate, and I give away the contents of my Loot Crate, not because I don't like them, but because I want people to want the things inside of the box. And if they don't win the giveaway, then they'll be more apt to subscribe maybe, so that they can receive it themselves. And then, of course, if you can get a discount from whoever your sponsor is, then that's more incentive. Because maybe they wouldn't have done it, but it's a little bit cheaper now to do it. So give them a reason to interact.
I think a lot of it is creativity as well. Yes, you do have the PayPal, the donate button, which is great on Twitch. I've learned that my female counterparts are much more successful in the donation part
I can't imagine why that would be.
than my male friends. But I mean, the thing is, we love the people that we watch. Like everybody here, I'm a fan of other internet personalities. So when they are like, "Hey, here's my donate. If you like what I do, you can drop me $5," and I do it. I mean, I have no problem with that because, in a sense, like I've never met some of these people, but I love them. So when it comes to donations, I personally don't ask for them, but I have no problem supporting some of my friends, hitting that subscribe button,
And you get it.
Yeah. And as far as call to actions and sponsor deals and things like that, it's a lot of money. Like any of you guys in the room could be the next thing on the internet, because if you think about it, we pass here, especially in LA, we pass thousands, if not hundreds, of billboards on the way to wherever we're going, and it's a lot of money to get that space. On YouTube, it's dedicated, like focused. People that spend $100,000 on that Jurassic Park billboard, they don't know who looks at that billboard. But on YouTube, we can send them analytics. We know 13 to 17-year-olds in Australia, in UK, in this place. So we charge $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a brand deal off of one video. That's 3 minutes. So that kind of stuff is totally possible. And that's one of the things I always wonder, being on the other side of the YouTube as a viewer, how much money can you make off of a brand deal? I mean, there's 5 figures, mid 5 figures, easy. I have friends that charge $7K for a brand deal, and they pay it. So, especially in the gaming world, like the gamers and Nintendo and a lot of these guys, I probably shouldn't have said that, so I erased that from any of the uploads. But some of these gaming people have a lot of marketing money, Doritos as well. They will pay a lot of money to get their stuff out there. So brand deals is a very good way to go. And don't sell yourself short. If you have upwards of 70,000 subscribers and you're getting 70,000 views per video, do not accept pennies, because people come at me like, hey, I'll give you $2,000 for your videos. Even though we know you make millions per video, we'll give you $2,000. That sounds good, right? Like, 9 negative. You need to start here, because we know that they have the money for marketing to do that.
And a lot of times, not only do they have the money, but they also don't understand how the internet works. And sometimes it's easier for them to come to us and say, here's money, do this for us, than try to create an internet division that's going to take 5 people to approve every single thing that goes out there. So it's really great. Like, I'm currently doing a show for Regal Movies every single week.
It's awesome. Check it out.
Talking about different movies and stuff. And it's neat because it totally is just like any video I would do on my own channel, but it now works for them with their product, and so it gets your brand out there. And that's really what happens a lot of times, particularly being out here in LA, is that you start to develop a brand for yourself, and people start looking to you as a brand and knowing what types of products, what types of events to put towards you. And it's really, really helpful because it gets you to expand yourself beyond YouTube. I mean, YouTube is great, it's a great starting point, but you can start getting yourself to be on the other social platforms or in public events or being part of different products. And it just starts to establish that you are a legitimate business that people can use and have their products next to, just like a commercial on a show or a movie. So that's great.
Yeah, and adding on to what Andre just said, I mean, when you're creating YouTube videos, you are producing, and you should think of yourself that way. So when people are looking to hire you to produce a video, that's a legitimate business that you're running for yourself, and give yourself a big pat on the back for that. That's awesome.
And a legitimate amount of time. It's not like you can just put something together. You have to take time to film it, edit it, things like analytics, and the optimal time to post it, and interact with the community. So what they pay you is a wage. They pay you a salary to do that.
In terms of merchandise, stuff like apparel, music sales, book sales, what experiences have we had with that? Pushing them or getting an audience to engage in those types of storefronts.
Is there anybody here who wrote a book? I know that's a big thing to do right now.
Shirts, hats,
Shirts, yeah.
Anything that your fans would buy.
Shirts, mugs, posters, all that kind of stuff.
You have a catchphrase that you use a lot on the show. People want to wear it. They like it.
Oh yeah. Well, like it's hard when you have like so many sponsorships, so you're already telling people to buy so many things. So having to tell people to buy stuff like with your face on it or your name, it's cool and stuff. Like I kind of have a cool logo, kind of like Superman. But it's so hard to do that with what I do. So I feel bad. It's like, oh yeah, I'm telling you guys to buy like $200 action figures or like this and that, and it's like, okay, now buy my stuff. It's like so. Like to me, I get sponsored by Ripped Apparel. Yeah, Ripped is awesome, by the way. No, they didn't pay me to say that. I've been using them for years, and I'm actually wearing like a shirt underneath this. But I really feel like I'm like so out right now. I don't mean to. It's just I'm so used to that. But anyway, no. So when it comes to my own stuff, I think the only thing I try to sell is my videos. That's all I try to sell. Is just the fact that you guys subscribe and watch. That to me means more than you buying a t-shirt with my face on it. It's cool if I have t-shirts, if you want, that's cool, but really just when people come up and say, I watch your videos on a regular basis, that means more to me than any amount of t-shirts or buttons or anything that has my face or name on it. So really, that to me, that's like what I sell. It's like myself all the time. So, and I think all of us can speak for ourselves saying that.
Yeah, I feel like the reason why we make the merch is because people ask for it. They want to support us, so then it's more for them than it is for us, like the merchandise aspect.
Yeah, it's fun to feel a part of the community.
No, I was about to say the same thing. So I do a YouTube channel called Vlogs, and all we do is talk about Disney. And one of the girls on the channel started her own Disney fashion brand called Who's Its and What's Its. And although that's not my personal brand, I'm glad to associate with it. It's almost like a secondary thing though. It's not like, hey, make sure you buy this t-shirt at the end of the video. It's just wear the t-shirt in the video. And it becomes a lifestyle as opposed to something you're pushing in people's face, and they just kind of want to adapt to that. They want to be part of that scene, so to speak, and they'll, of their own volition, go to the site and check it out and buy those products.
And so another aspect of a challenge is ad revenue that is tied to the platform. YouTube has a partner program where they share ad revenue. Twitch has a partner program where they share ad revenue. Are there tricks? Are there techniques? Is there thoughts that goes into creating content that say, hey, this might getting higher earnings per view, this might make more money with the established system of the platform. Is that a deliberate process for any of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
The thing you gotta remember is that Google is behind YouTube, and Google is a search engine, and it's showing studies more and more. It's showing that people search for when they're like, I have an extra question. They are searching on YouTube more so than Google. So if you can be in the right, and it can be everything from what's the review to this movie? How do I deal with relationships?
Yeah.
What is this weird scar? Anything, and you can find a video there. So if you can be the type of person that can bring that information, no matter what it is, and be in the forefront, you know, eventually the algorithm recognizes that, and you can be suggested for that.
Oh yeah, man, totally. It's a thing I've learned over the years, like especially with doing what I do with the toy reviews and movie reviews. Like Jurassic World just came out, and it's actually really good, and I suggest go see it. They didn't pay me to see it. Like I was like, I knew it's not as good as the original, by the way. But anyway, see, I was honest. No, but no, seriously, like when it comes to like the toy stuff, like. I try to get stuff with movies and things I love myself. Like I'm a big comic geek, so I got a lot of Avengers stuff. You know, I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, so like I review a lot of that stuff around the time the movie comes out. And for a person like me, this is like the best time of the year because movies are out. People are like, oh, I want to see like what the toys are like for that, and I always do the best during the summertime, and it's. Anyone that does what I do knows that you know kids are out of school and people are watching more YouTube, which is great for a lot of us. So yeah, I try to utilize that, but at the same time make it organic to my channel. Like what's a movie like? I'm trying to think I'm trying to think like what's a movie that like Jim. I don't plan to get any toys from that, so don't plan on it. No, it's truly outrageous, man. Oh, by the way, Jim, your video on that was so great. And
can you tell I was really happy with the trailer? Let's
move on. Oh man, but all of us, man, it was truly outrageous.
I would say have a strategy, and that's with anything. For anybody that wants to start out and make YouTube a full-time thing, your friends and your family on Facebook are going to be your first audience.
Yeah.
So target those guys and make the kind of videos that you would share if you had nothing to do with it. And I think that's the one key that a lot of people don't really get is they think, oh, I spent so much time editing this and making this, I'm going to share it. But they don't stop to think, like, would I share this if I wasn't in it? And once you get over that hurdle, like for me, that's kind of what it took, like for my videos to start getting shared and shared and shared, and thousands going to hundreds of thousands going to millions upon millions, is that. So strategy is good. Like networks are great. Like high school is a network. College is a network. Disney is a network. So wherever you guys work, whether it be Starbucks, whether it be McDonald's, whether it be anything, there's a network of people already built into there. So I've learned that things that are really awesome or things that are really funny usually get, or cute. Cute is the other one that's really good. So if you can combine all three or even just focus on one, that'll get people sharing your views. And shares at the end of the day translates to dinero. So when it comes to the Google AdSense, man, these guys will take care of you to where like it is the best job that you could ever have in your entire life. Like I have friends come to stay with me for a week, and I decide, you know what, I'm not going to work this week, and I'm just going to hang out with my friends. And then when I want to edit a video, I just turn my camera on and go again. So as far as YouTube AdSense goes, like guys, it is, you're talking about $25 for every 1,000 views, depending on the kind of ads that you run on your channel. So if you can get that to a few million views a month, like you are in good shape to the point to where you'll make more money than both your parents combined.
And another thing to keep in mind is like, who is your audience friends with? Right? Because like you were saying, you want to share things that people want to share. So in my experience, I work for a tech company where we develop technology to make a little better place and all that. And that's cool, but I can share the most groundbreaking, revolutionary technology on their social media about how we're going to land a robot on the moon. But if my audience doesn't think that their friends care, then they're not going to share it, right? So literally, it's going to change the way you live your life for the rest of the existence of mankind. 3 shares. But you put a kid in a watermelon helmet. Because everybody laughs at that. Everybody wants to share that. They're like, my mom likes that. You know?
You're just so charming, Drake.
Can I bring some hard truth though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Read it.
Yes. Oh.
Read it.
Okay, so just something you should know about how the
It's okay, stay in place.
Okay.
I took it early.
It's like the Terminator.
It's literally a running gag. Every panel I knock over water. Okay.
It's getting real.
So So you make a YouTube video, all right, and you get views, and you're like, great, I'm a millionaire. Hold up. So some of those views are going to get revenue based on what ads, the ads that pop up before it, the ads that pop up in the little bottom part there, the ads that you have to watch all the way, the ones that you can skip after 5 seconds. Okay, that's going to get you so much money. Then that money is going to be determined by, oh, is it an ad for the next big summer blockbuster movie and they're giving a bunch of revenue for that? Yeah, great. Or it could be, hey, Google, you can buy keywords. That's not going to be so great. And so it depends on how much that ad is and how much revenue for that. Then YouTube comes in and goes, hey, you're using our platform, so we're going to just take a percentage of that and put it in our pocket because you're using our service. Cool. Oh, hey, did you sign up for a multi-channel network? Well, guess what? They're going to come in and take a percentage of that because you're using their service. So thank you for that. Oh, wait, some of these views were from international countries where you're not allowed to make revenue there, so we're just going to not give you views, give you money for that. And so it can really break down. So that's something you got to keep in mind, because a lot of times people just think like, oh, if you got so many million views, that means you're a millionaire. And it's like, not all the time. Sometimes it depends on where it's at. And then the best part is if you have something in your video and YouTube goes, wait, I think that's copyrighted material. I think that belongs to somebody else. Back in the day, they used to take it off. But now they'll be like, well, you can keep it, and we'll even put ads on it. But guess what? Those ads are not going to you anymore. Now they're going to the company who claimed that video. And that's fun because sometimes the claims are legit, and sometimes they are not.
You've just been truth.
So just check those analytics. Make sure you're making, the views are great, but make sure you check your analytics to see, what of your views is actually getting revenue, so that you know that what exactly you're making.
Amen.
There you go. A whole water bucket of truth.
I did a nice challenge of truth right there.
With the cold water, man. We have some time for audience questions.
Yay, questions.
There's questions out there.
You guys are beautiful.
Start in the front. You.
What are some big don'ts?
Some big don'ts.
The question is, what are some big don'ts?
Don't give up. That's number one.
Don't stop believing.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be frustrating. You're gonna want to quit a lot. You gotta keep going.
That's important.
Yeah.
I would say don't get in your own way. Meaning a lot of people hold off on posting that first video or posting any video because it's just not perfect yet and I want to do some more pre-production, and then you never post. Just post. Just put it out there. Just put yourself out there. Just do it.
Yeah. Like going back to what we've been saying, like don't post things that you wouldn't want yourself to see. Like you should love the video first. Like I try to make stuff like I will watch. If I was like a totally different person and I came across like my videos and be like, oh my god, it's funny, and like I like this. It's like, and that's you want to make yourself happy first before anyone else. And then if people like it, that's great. But if you're not happy with the videos you're posting, you shouldn't be posting. It's like why if you're just doing it for money or fame or whatever to be viral hit, then you're not doing it for the right reasons. You have to love what you do. So if you don't post things you love, you shouldn't be posting.
And also don't worry if someone else is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
If you see that there's a million video game channels, it doesn't mean you can't have a video game channel. It just means you got some serious competition. But don't be intimidated by the fact that other people are doing it. You've got to start somewhere.
And don't sell yourself short. It's always weird when someone goes, I just have 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. That's amazing. That's people that you do not know are watching you. So it really kind of bugs me out. At the same time, when you get big, also keep it in check a little bit, because everyone starts on that platform with 0 subscribers. So it takes time, and it's going to be different. Some people I've seen have a viral hit, and their channel is huge in like a couple years. Some people did it 7-8 years before they even saw it really becoming a traction success. So it's just different for everybody. Just because we're all on the same platform, everyone's path is going to be different. So look at your path and look at your own measurements of success, not comparing it to the subscribers or numbers or whatever else of other people.
Yeah, that's
Never be happy that way.
No.
Yeah, that goes to what Andre's saying, like too, don't have an ego, because the thing about YouTube, like any media, movies, television, you can be forgotten like even more quickly than anyone like doing a TV show or anything. So you have to be consistent. So if you're not consistent and doing something like, if you just like I'm gonna take like a year off, you'll be gone. It's like even a month off is like pretty hard to do this type of job. So yeah, 2 weeks. I know, right?
I was
My
joking.
soul.
Yeah.
With that one.
I always joke that YouTube time. Yeah, YouTube time is like 1 week is like a month, 2 weeks is like a year, 3 weeks is like your day.
Yeah.
It's true.
Just like that.
YouTube will punish you by, if you're not putting up videos, or if your viewers have stopped watching your videos, you stop popping up on their feed unless they resubscribe to you, which they don't know to do. So don't not be consistent. And don't format.
So many things.
Don't be the trolls.
Don't.
That's a big one. Don't respond back.
We have feelings, you guys. We have feelings.
There's more positivity than trolls out there.
Yeah, feed the positivity.
I see hands going up, more questions. Way in the back corner.
Nobody puts in the corner.
I wanted to say woo, that's
My
it.
question for you guys is, it's actually a two-part question. Do you guys edit your own videos? And if not, should you hire somebody to edit your videos?
The question is, do we edit our own videos, and if not, how does it work in terms of paying other people to do that?
Oh, I got Ricky in Mexico. He does it for me. No, it's we wear all our hats, man. For most YouTubers, like unless you're like super big people that have like a crew, which I envy them. Like you're literally you're the producer, the director, the editor, the actor, the writer. It's like you're the promoter.
Coordinator.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll kick.
So you're doing everything, man. It's like, but it's great. You're your own boss and stuff, so you can say like, you're not working hard enough. Yes, like I'm not working hard enough. So
Talk to yourself.
yeah,
I'm the only one.
Yeah, my voice is just like all over me.
You're nodding off.
My Joker comes out. It's like you need to work harder, or I'm gonna blow up your building.
That's the all
Yeah.
I think I need to see a therapist.
I edit my own videos, but then sometimes, because like my day job is so consuming, like I'll have a friend who just wants to get better at editing, and he'll ask me to come over, and I'll, I can't pay tons, but I'll pay him whatever he asks because I think it's super useful. And then he'll post it for me and go the extra distance. But in the process, he starts building a resume and starts making the connections of his own.
Editing is fun too.
It is.
It's
And therapeutic.
I like to edit.
Oh yeah.
It's worth knowing. Photoshop too.
Yeah.
I hate looking at my own face.
It's beautiful, man. I would like looking at your face.
I like
It's
looking at your
beautiful.
face.
I know, right? You got some fans in the table, man.
The jokes aren't funny the seventh time.
Oh, real quick, going to the editing. Also, I feel like when you create, whether it's a movie or a video, you kind of create things 3 times. You first is the writing process, then the filming process, and then the editing process. So your initial idea changes at least 3 times by the end of when it's actually posted on YouTube. That's how it is. Like you first come up with something, and it's like, okay, when you actually film it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it different. And then when you edit, it's like, oh, that's gonna take this out and put this in. So yeah, that's what's cool about editing. It's like you really get to recreate things like again. So.
It's basically something that finalizes the story in general. Completely rearrange a film.
I love it, man. I think it's so much fun. I would totally do questions. I guess we do.
And to the second part of your question, I am not a very good editor. I edit most of my own content, but if it is a sponsored video, I feel like I owe it to the brand, if they're giving me money to produce this video, to hire someone who's really good and can do really awesome stuff in the editing process with After Effects and just stuff that I have not had the training to do. That being said, the YouTube space here in LA offers a lot of classes in that department. I have been taking their post-production classes to get better at that, and I highly recommend that, if you have that opportunity to do that as well.
Don't be afraid that if your editing isn't top notch, because some of the charm of YouTube is like amateur editing.
Yeah.
Plus practice makes perfect.
Yep.
Or that jump like you.
2 more hands. There, blue hair.
I have, and they treat me like I'm.
Sorry. Swoozie, have you been back to Disneyland since you quit?
I have, and they treat me like Obama when I You think I'm kidding? I made a video because a Disney executive invited me out after he saw the videos, and then I went out to Disney, and he totally stood me up. So Disney felt bad about it, and they invited me back with the cast of Harry Potter.
I hate when that happens.
And everybody freaked out for me, and they didn't even realize I was with the cast of Harry Potter, so they treat me really good over there.
You're in front.
This guy's awesome. By the way, put $5 in black for me when you get back.
Thank
actually follow my buddy Angela, but we do a lot of YouTube videos and stuff. That's kind of, what are you guys thoughts on doing collaborations and trying to do a lot? What would you say, like, you're starting out, and you want to do a collaboration, you guys say, you could start out? What are your thoughts on collaboration?
Stroke our ego. I'm being dead serious. Yeah. Because everything about it, anybody even in the million sub club is probably who you want to hit too. Anybody that has over 1 million subscribers. Basically, to get their attention, everybody's tweeting, hey, can we collab? Hey, can we do this? But a really good way to do that is, for example, somebody took one of my videos, they ripped the audio, and then did their animation, which was like 1,000,000 times better than my animation. And I was like, holy crap, dude, we gotta collab. So in a sense, I'm coming at you now. So that way, Freddie Wong, what he did was he took a lot of iJustines and Philip DeFranco and a bunch of these people that were really popular at the time, and he superimposed himself stealing stuff out of their house. And then they started saying, Freddie Wong, let's do collabs together. And he rose to 1 million in like a few months. So stroking their ego and like taking their work.
Product, like,
yeah, and being good at what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, taking people's work and then adding your own little spice to it or flair, or just, you know, kind of giving them props in your own way on YouTube is a good way to start, I'd say.
Yeah, and also put them under pressure. So you can do a collab.
On the spot.
Yeah. Actually, I've been talking about it.
Yeah, and it's good to make a good impression on that because you know, I always wanted to tell people is that when you're making a YouTube channel is to find the identity, find the thing about you, because a lot of times when you want to do a collab, people can look at what type of content you do and see how you would work together. And so it's kind of important. Sometimes I hate myself for doing this. Sometimes putting yourself out there and saying, let's collab, and you really don't have any offer. People will be like, let's collab, and they don't even have a channel. And so it's very important, but make sure that you can figure out what it is that you can bring. And then also, a lot of people say collab, it always seems to be the indication of find a huge channel to try to get it to you a shout out. But a lot of times I found that there's people I've collabed with the same number or even smaller channels than me, they end up being more successful because we had a similar bond, we had a similar style that worked so that their audience liked the type of content I make and vice versa, and it led to a lot of subscribers and followers.
Exactly, like me and Andre have done a few collabs now, and yeah, like we have very similar audiences. We talk about a lot of the same things, so I think that's like the big thing. If you're gonna ask someone to collab, you should have some similar interests, and like, you know, like the same kind of style, and you work together. And like, yeah, I love collabing with people like me and Jimmy were talking about. Like, we should collab. And, I definitely think it should be organic instead of you should like. If you're a fan of someone, you should, because like they have similar interests and stuff, you know, not because like, oh, they have like 8 million subscribers, so I want to get in on that and stuff. And that goes back to the ego thing. So it's like, I've had that where I've worked with some people and I thought they were genuinely interested, and it's like, oh, you just, yeah, because I helped you out. It's like, oh, okay. And you kind of feel kind of dirty. It's like, oh, I need a shower.
But have something in mind. Like if you're gonna go to somebody, present them with an option. Like, hey, let's collab. Cool. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? It's like now you just put the workload on them, right?
Yeah. You don't want to
have a structure in place.
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
I've got one more question.
I mean, I feel like it's a guerrilla style. Like I don't ask permission, I just sort of dress up like Disney characters. You know what I mean? It's if they punch you later or whatever. Yeah.
They're usually okay with that. Right now,
I think part of it is like what you do as a character. Like if it's complimentary.
Yeah.
Right.
If you like dressing up like as a Ninja Turtle or something, you know, and you're doing something that's fun and funny.
And we'll generate fund it.
You know,
Yeah, sponsors are
nice.
Yeah, it really depends on, because especially with types of you do a lot of copyright, a lot of properties and things like that. And I think a lot of it does have to do with how is it being presented. Is it a parody? Is it a fair use? Sometimes you have the legitimate fair use rules, and then YouTube gets even more complicated because they are always strike first at the person and then ask questions later, or you have to respond later. But I think a lot of it just has to do with the respect of it, and like, you know, a company will like that you make a fan film about them, but they may not like that you're making money off of it if it's their product. So it's just knowing how to use the property properly.
Exactly. One thing I've noticed, because I do so much stuff that are other people's properties with action figures and movies, I think as long as you use non-copyrighted music and don't use any clips, you could do anything. That's what
Music's the biggest
yeah,
one.
the music is like, it sucks because I used to be a musician and it's like, if you create your own music, it's one thing, but even that, I've had friends and even myself had, no, this is my music, like I made that, so it's like, just use the iMovie music, that's what I do.
I literally said Who Run the World in one of my videos and got 19 music companies flag that video.
Wow, you said it yourself?
I said it myself, no music, I just went, Who Run the World? 19 flags. I figured out who ran the world that day. The music industry.
It was all Beyonce making different accounts like flagging you.
We are out of time. Thank you all for coming today.
Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Ah, geez, the only way I can get back to the future with a bolt of lightning. Where am I gonna get that? I say to thee, you need lightning? Mjolnir can produce 1.21 gigawatts of power. What the hell is a gigawatt?